I'll tell you what I'm getting tired of. I'm getting tired of YouTube channels that are threatening people with their openings. Like, these are the things that such and such doesn't want you to know about. This item in a game breaks the whole game. 5 things you missed in Stranger Things that'll make you hate the whole show. 7 movie facts that'll make you puke. I mean, do they really have to do this? Or what do I know? Maybe that's the way to do things, and I gotta start doing it to kind of keep up with what's trending right now. Like, the top 10 things you need to know about Intune before your computers explode. App packaging, what Microsoft doesn't want you to know. Yeah, it just feels off to me. Steve Weiner here from GetRubix.com, and today is part 3 in our Getting Started with GitHub series. And today we're going to talk about the best part of GitHub, which is how you can go back in time to fix any mistakes you've made, because we all do that. Honestly, it's so stupid. I don't know why they feel the need to do that. Just say, hey, look, this is a video. We're going to talk about what we're going to talk about. And everyone moves on with their day. You know what I mean?
Get Rubix, solving for the modern workplace.
Okay, so I'm going to assume everyone's been following along. And to recap, we have our GitHub repo. We were able to add some stuff to the README. We went ahead and pushed our script up from our local repository, and there's my MDM cert check script. And you can see if I open Visual Studio Code, I have the same repository here, right? That's our README. That's our script, which is nested in the Intune folder. So before we do more, I'm going to create a new script. It's going to be called W365 physical to cloud PC. And we're going to just do a little cheating here and paste this in. It's from my original repo. High level, this is a PowerShell script that looks at your Intune environment and tells you which Windows 365 PCs would fit kind of the physical PCs you're replacing. It's kind of cool, but that's not really the point of today. If you recall how to add something, there's 3 lines we run in the terminal of PowerShell. So first we add git add dot. That's going to add everything up there, or at least stage it to add. And then here's the important one, commit. Right? We put a comment right here, and then we hit enter, and then we do git push. But today we're going to really talk about that commit. Why is the commit so important? Well, keeping our stuff, making changes to it, can be kind of a terrifying thing, especially if it's in production, and more importantly, if it breaks something. So what's this have to do with what a commit is? So think of a commit as a snapshot in time when you make that change. It's going to tell you what changed, who is responsible for the change, when it changed, and more importantly is why. But the why is up to you and how we do our commit messages. So let's take a look at the commits we already have first. So if we go back to our repo, we can go over to the right by the little clock, the little back in time symbol I call it, and you'll see 4 commits. So this is every single commit that was made since we made the script. And you'll notice initial commit, that makes sense. That was the first time we posted something. Then I added more content to the README. I added the Intune directory and the MDM cert check, and I added the cert subject return at the bottom of the script. So these are very specific, and if I want to, I can click into them and get more details. So we can see the first thing I did was make a README, and that's what changed. There was nothing here, and then this was added. So nothing was taken away. Here, you can see I removed the original first line of the README and added all this stuff. So the ability to look at what changed and when it changed and who did it, and we can clearly see it was me. I'm the only one working here. That's pretty powerful. So what I really want to show you though is the bad habits and what you shouldn't do. So if you look at one of my migration repos, let's go to device migration 8. I think that was the most popular of them. 42 commits. So if we go back and look at all these, this is not good. Because yes, I can go back all the way back to I guess it was November here. It looks like that was the initial commit. Here we go. I made an update. Okay, well, what did I update? That's a lot of files. I put a picture in there. It looks like I added this script and I removed whatever this was. It was called Scratch. So if I go back to another commit, update, start, migrate. Okay, I made an update. I removed a bunch of lines. I added a bunch of lines. I don't have any comments. And then it looks like later on I updated again. But what did I update? It looks like I changed a line. Maybe I fixed a bug. So like I told you at the beginning, I've been working on this myself and I am not perfect at it. And you can see by all those commits, I really wasn't taking advantage of what GitHub could do to help me. You know, what makes for a good commit? So you want to think about committing with intent. As long as you can explain what you changed or why you made the change, that's really all that matters. Think about it as like a little note for future you. So let's take a look at some examples. So because I added this file, the first thing I should do is make a commit for adding it. Git added w365 physical to cloud pc.ps1 to the Intune folder. This script tells you which cloud PC best suited for your environment. Pretty good. We'll make that commit and we'll go ahead and we'll do the push. So I'm going to go to Intune and we can see the newest commit right there. This script tells you which cloud. So this will kind of show you the whole thing. All right, so now let's make a change. I decided that, you know what, before I do get module, I want to make sure I also have the package provider. So let's go ahead and write with intent. We'll say git add everything. Git commit. We'll say added a check for NuGet before installing modules. Okay, so I made the push, it's there. If we go back here and go back to the code, okay, and we can see there's the new NuGet path. And if we look at history, added a check for NuGet before installing modules. That was after we initially added it. I hit that other one twice before during filming, so just ignore that. But all right, so now I have added a git check for NuGet. But now let's say we've made a mistake by doing that. Let's say we've deployed this in Intune and this completely breaks everything. How are we going to roll back to the previous version? So the really nice thing you can do is we're going to go down here and we're going to go git checkout. We're going to type in head, the tilde key, and 1. And we're going to put the name of the script. It's in Intune, w365 physical to cloud pc.ps1. Look at that. It went right back to the original version. Pretty cool, right? So that's back here locally now. But if we look in the code, up in Git is still the NuGet, package provider section. So now what we're going to do is we're going to commit the changes. So now that we have that, right, we already checked it out. We're going to do a git commit AM instead of just M, because M is message. A is for anything that's already being tracked, which it is. So we're going to say rollback to previous version before NuGet added. NuGet check was added. Perfect. And now all we have to do is push that. Now, if we take a look, refresh the repo has been fixed now. All right, so let's take a look at our other script, the MDM cert check, because I made a few different changes just to kind of prepare for this. So if we go to history, we're going to see a few different things here. So you can see our initial commit back here. We added the directory and put the script. We made a change and added the subject return. And then if you look here, I have 3 different things. So I've been all over the place with this. So if I have a mistake, I might not be able to think, especially if there's more than, 5, 6, 7, 10, 20 commits. Going back, think about my migration script. It had all those commits. it might be too many to say head -5, head -7. So if you take a look, let's say I want to go back to the way it was here after I did the comments and I was very happy. See that little ID here? And we can click on that and we can copy that ID. So if you want to go all the way back, you can do that too. So let's do this. Git checkout. And I'm just going to paste the ID in and point to the script. So it's Intune MDM cert check.ps1. And take a look at what happened. It went right back to the way it was. Absolutely perfect, right? I didn't have to do the head minus whatever. Goes right back there. And again, if I want to roll that back, I'll just do a git. I'll add it. I'll commit it. AM. I'll say rolling back to the last known working version. And we'll push. And now when we come back here, we'll see we got the rolling back to the last known working version, and we still have the previous changes saved as well. I think this is where the magic of Git really comes in, all this change tracking. I don't care what you do with a folder system or saving your stuff. You can't come close to something like this that tracks your changes for you and lets you roll back as far as you've had the script, right? And if we equate that to production and Intune, we're going to feel a lot better about making changes and knowing at any time we could just go back as far as we want. So for me, this is a really important feature of GitHub, and was also kind of a big revelation to me when I was like, oh man, I'm missing out on this feature. So let me know what you think of it, how you're using it, how it's going so far, and we'll be seeing you.